$600-700 a month in the state of New York City. You do the math. You talking about somebody that has problems with everybody. You can't just live in any neighborhood. 81K is not a substantial lot of money.
50 Cent straight up can't stand his own son, and the wild part is he might actually have a reason for it. On the outside, 50 looks untouchable. Record-breaking rapper, TV mogul, and self-made millionaire who climbs straight out the trenches to the top. He's the walking definition of the American dream. But when you peek behind the fame, the story turns dark fast. 50's personal life is way more complicated than his public image shows, especially when it comes to his rocky, emotional, and straight-up painful relationship with his oldest son, Marquise Jackson. Their bond didn't just fall apart overnight. It's tangled up with betrayal, pain, and a past that's haunted them for years. And if you trace it back far enough, some people believe the tension between 50 and Marquise started after the infamous attempt on 50's life years ago, the moment that changed everything. That's why we're breaking it all down piece by piece, every reason behind why 50 Cent has beef with his own blood. We'll dig into how Marquise once pushed his dad to chase rap seriously, how things got twisted when he started chilling with 50's biggest rivals, and what's really behind those wild claims that 50 tried to hurt Marquise and his mom. We even pulled receipts from 50's leaked text to his son, messages that expose just how toxic things got between them. By the end, we'll see why 50 might never forgive Marquise, and how his own son could be his biggest regret ever.
Raise a celebrity A-list
I paid child support. I paid $350,000.
Your child is not me.
Brother.
Your child is not me. Your child never been on a private jet before.
50 Cent's son, Marquise Jackson, came into the world back in 1996, way before 50 was rich or even known. At that time, 50 was just another hungry rapper from Southside Jamaica, Queens, still hustling in the streets and grinding to make a name for himself. But when Marquise was born, everything changed for him. He wasn't just chasing fame anymore. He had a reason to live differently. In one of his early interviews, 50 opened up about how his son completely flipped his mindset. He said, "When my son came into my life, my priorities changed because I wanted to have a relationship with him that I didn't have with my father." That moment hit him deep. He even admitted that if Marquise hadn't been born, he might never have stepped into the rap game at all. As 50 put it, "Me being an artist on the music front came from my son, actually." Marquise wasn't just his kid. He was the spark behind 50's whole career. But when the late 90s hit and 50 started blowing up, the fame came with a price, a dangerous one. His breakout single, How to Rob, made huge waves, but it also made enemies. In the track, he called out some of the biggest names in the game, from Jay-Z and Diddy to Will Smith and even Mike Tyson, basically telling the whole industry he wasn't scared of nobody. But the real storm hit when he dropped Ghetto Quran. That track didn't just name drop, it exposed. 50 shouted out real street legends from his own neighborhood, including the infamous Kenneth Supreme McGriff, one of New York's most feared drug lords. That song didn't just make 50 famous, it made him a target. Even though 50 Cent and Supreme McGriff once had a connection, that name drop in Ghetto Quran blew up into pure chaos.
So his mother was, got pregnant, and it kind of was like, I had to make like a little small transition because I know I can't do that and provide for him in that scenario. So I tried to do something different.
50 swore the track was just about showing respect to the street legends who came before him, but not everyone saw it that way. A lot of people started calling him out for dry snitching, saying he was exposing street secrets that were never supposed to leave the block. Things got so tense that rumors spread saying Supreme himself ordered 50's music to be blacklisted from studios across the country. Then came the day that changed everything. May 24th, 2000. 50 Cent was chilling outside his grandmother's house in Queens, just spending time with little Marquise, when a shooter rolled up and let off 9 shots. 9! 50 was hit in his hand, arm, hip, chest, legs, even his face. It was a straight-up miracle he survived that kind of attack. But instead of breaking him, it lit a fire inside him. He came back even tougher, sharper, and more unstoppable than before. Right after the shooting, the entire music world turned their backs on him. Columbia Records dropped him cold, and his debut album, Power of the Dollar, got shelved like it never existed. 50 had to start from zero. No label, no support, nothing. He went into hiding with Marquise and his baby mom, Shaniqua Tompkins, up in the Poconos, trying to heal from his injuries while staying out of sight. But even there, the danger never really stopped. People still wanted him gone, and Supreme's so-called blacklist was still active, keeping him out of studios all over America. So what did 50 do? He got creative and ruthless. Since no studio in the US would touch him, he went up to Canada to record, and from there, he started flooding the streets with mixtapes and freestyles. His grind was non-stop. The industry tried to silence him, but 50 built his own buzz from the ground up, and the world had no choice but to pay attention. By 2002, the comeback was official. 50 Cent signed a $1 million deal with Eminem and Dr. Dre, officially becoming the most fearless new star in rap. And through it all, his son Marquise had a front row seat, watching his dad turn near death into legend. But once the fame and fortune started rolling in, things between 50 Cent and Marquise began falling apart fast. In the early days, Marquise was practically glued to his dad's side, showing up in music videos, hanging out backstage, living that superstar lifestyle. He even popped up in 50's Wanksta video, proudly representing his dad. 50 used to talk about Marquise all the time, bragging about how fearless his son was. In one old interview, 50 laughed while sharing a story, saying, "One time he was watching TV with another little kid, and a person got shot and died. He said to the other kid, 'That's weak. My daddy got shot a lot of times and he didn't die.'" That's how proud Marquise was back then. His dad was his hero. But by 2008, everything started crumbling. Marquise's mom, Shaniqua Tompkins, was locked in a messy legal fight with 50 over a $4 million mansion in Long Island. Shaniqua claimed 50 had promised her the house, but he was trying to back out of the deal. The tension between them was sky high. Then, things took a shocking turn. On May 30th, 2008, that same mansion went up in flames. Reports said someone threw a Molotov cocktail through a window while Shaniqua and Marquise were inside. Thankfully, they both escaped, but the mansion burned down completely. That's when the accusations started flying. Shaniqua came out swinging, claiming 50 was the one behind the fire. She said, "He tried to kill me and his own child. Who do I think did it? Curtis Jackson. He threatened me on Monday that he was gonna have someone visit me. My kids were in the house. Who would try to kill their own kids? He's supposed to be all about being a gangster. That's not a gangster. That's a coward." It was a huge scandal, and Marquise seemed to side with his mom. Neighbors who were there the night of the fire said he looked shaken but stood by her story. That moment shattered whatever trust was left between father and son, and things only got colder from there. Marquise was furious after the fire. He called his dad out and was completely shaken. And honestly, who could blame him? He just escaped a burning mansion in the middle of the night. Anyone would be traumatized. 50 Cent denied having anything to do with the blaze, but that was the moment where everything between father and son really cracked for good. Marquise seemed convinced his dad had something to do with what happened, and that belief would haunt their relationship for years. As Marquise got older, the tension didn't fade. It exploded. Their feud went from private pain to public drama that everyone could see. By 2013, leaked text messages between 50 and then 16-year-old Marquise hit the internet, exposing just how deep their beef had gotten. The messages were brutal. In the texts, 50 lashed out at his own son, saying, "Fuck you, stop texting me, delete my number." At one point, he even called Marquise stupid. Then came the coldest line of all. 50 wrote, "I don't have a son anymore. Tell your mother she won. She has you. I'll make another." That message broke the internet. People couldn't believe how harsh he was being. When 50 asked Marquise if he'd even care if his dad died, Marquise shot back with, "And this is coming from someone that didn't wish me a happy birthday." The pain behind that reply said it all. This wasn't just anger. It was heartbreak on both sides. 50 didn't hold back either. He clapped back, saying he was cutting Marquise out of his inheritance and wrote, "I need a blood test, cause that chick you call mom was unfaithful the whole time." The drama was unreal. Later, when 50 was asked about it in an interview, he blamed Shaniqua for twisting Marquise against him, saying, "He's completely embraced his mom's perspective on me." Their relationship wasn't just broken, it was poisoned beyond repair. 50 Cent claimed he gave his son everything, saying he provided for Marquise his whole life, whether he was physically around or not. He pointed out that Shaniqua hadn't worked since 2000, insisting she'd been living comfortably off what he provided for their son. In 50's eyes, that should have been enough, but Shaniqua saw things completely differently. She accused 50's of being absent for years and said Marquise felt replaced once 50's had a new baby with another woman. She didn't stop there either. Shaniqua even told the press that 50 had mentally abused Marquise, saying the damage went way deeper than just missed visits or arguments over money. By this point, Marquise was done holding back. He wanted to hit his dad where it hurt the most, his pride. So in 2014, he did something that shocked everyone. Marquise started posting pictures hanging out with Floyd Mayweather, one of 50's biggest enemies. The move was bold. and petty. Once upon a time, 50 and Floyd were tight, running business ventures together, but their friendship fell apart in one of the nastiest celebrity feuds ever. Now, 50's own son was chilling with his rival, and he made sure the whole internet saw it. Even after that, 50 didn't fully blame Marquise. He turned the focus back on Shaniqua. He said, with him, that situation is so complex. I think over time, Shaniqua's installed her entitlement even in being a privileged child. Then he posted a throwback picture of him and little Marquise writing, "This kid's gonna hate his mother when he realizes what she did to him. He has to make his own way like I did. SMH. Good luck." Marquise wasn't staying silent either. He fired back with a diss track titled Different, where he rapped about his rocky relationship with his father and even compared their situation to 50's feud with the game. And truth be told, his flow wasn't bad. He actually sounded a bit like his dad. It's wild to think that if they ever saw eye to eye, they might have made some serious hits together. Then came the moment that completely destroyed any chance of peace, the move that 50 Cent would never forgive. In 2018, Marquise Jackson did something that sent shockwaves through hip-hop. He took a photo with Kyle McGriff, the son of Kenneth Supreme McGriff, the same man who allegedly tried to have 50 killed years ago. Taking pictures with Floyd Mayweather was already bold, but this was betrayal on a whole new level. For 50, that photo wasn't just a disrespectful move, it was personal, deep, and unforgivable. It felt like his own son was siding with the same family that once wanted him gone. 50 responded with pure fire, posting one of the most savage comments of his entire career. He wrote, "If both these little dudes got hit by a bus, I wouldn't have a bad day." That line shook the internet to its core. Fans couldn't believe he said something that harsh about his own son. The backlash online was massive. But 50 didn't back down. He doubled down instead, saying, "I have zero ill will towards anyone living on this earth. The people Shaniqua's son looks up to and associates with are a reflection of the negative energy he embraces towards me. I paid his mother $1,360,000 in child support to afford him opportunities I never had." Marquise later tried to clear the air, claiming he didn't even know Kyle personally. He said, "I don't know that kid. His friends asked for a pic. He fanned out and held it for years. But by then, the damage was already done." For 50, that photo was the ultimate betrayal. After calling Marquise spoiled and entitled, he felt like his own son had inserted himself into the exact same street drama that almost took his life. And even though Kyle's father, Supreme, is now serving a life sentence in federal prison, 50 made one thing very clear: forgiveness was off the table. When you really break it down, Marquise linking up with Supreme's son was the ultimate slap in the face for 50 Cent. This man had survived one of the deadliest beefs in New York history, went to war with real street figures, and rose to become one of the most successful rappers on the planet, only for his own son to be seen chilling with the family of his enemies. For 50, that wasn't just disrespect. It was humiliation on a global level. But Marquise didn't stop there. Instead of moving quietly or trying to make things right, he started embarrassing himself in public, this time over money. In 2022, when he was already 25 years old, Marquise went online complaining about what he called 50's inadequate child support payments. The internet went wild, and not in his favor. Fans across social media roasted him hard, calling him spoiled and out of touch. And honestly, they had a point. After years of 50 calling out his son's entitlement, Marquise basically proved his dad's words right. It was not a good look. 50 didn't hold back either. He clapped back, saying his son should be ashamed for being that grown and still whining about child support. He said he thinks being 50 Cent's son means he doesn't have to work. I offered to set up a business for him that could have made him $1 million a year, but he refused. He's got an entitlement mentality. He thinks my money is his. 50 went on to say how painful it was to see Marquise waste his potential, adding, "It hurts to see him so irresponsible. I keep saying this publicly, hoping he'll feel embarrassed enough to change and start working." And when people criticized him for being too cold about it, 50 didn't flinch. He simply said, "Excuse me if I seem a little insensitive." That's vintage 50, blunt, unfiltered, and refusing to sugarcoat a thing. 50 Cent once said it himself, "I came up harder than these guys. I never met my father, and my mother got killed when I was 8. That pain shaped him into who he is today, but it also explains why he's so cold when it comes to betrayal." At this point, it's hard to imagine 50 ever forgiving Marquise after everything that's gone down. The shade, the public shots, the disrespect. But just when people thought the drama couldn't go any further, it did. 50 hinted that Marquise might actually be facing real legal trouble soon. On Father's Day 2025, instead of showing love or even staying quiet, Marquise decided to take another jab at his dad, and he did it online for everyone to see. He posted a hookah pic with the caption, "Happy Father's Day to all the real ones. I'm watching my bet and it ain't looking too good. I got the over. We know this today for photo ops. The day ain't over. Finish strong, get on your job." It was a clear dig. And 50 didn't take it lightly. He went scorched earth on Marquise in response, accusing him and his family of being mixed up in scams. He wrote, "You little punk, your mama got you and your sister scamming. Then people came to ask me questions about it. I said, I don't mess with them. I'm a law-abiding citizen." And he didn't stop there. In another post, 50 fired off again, saying, "I bet they're gonna blame me when they get picked up for scamming PPP loans, and they'll say it's my fault they were broke." If what 50's saying has any truth to it, Marquise could be in some serious trouble, way bigger than arguments over money or clout. At this point, it's not just a family feud anymore. It's turning into a full-blown mess that could have real-world consequences. Even if Marquise really is under investigation for scamming, there's almost no chance 50 Cent would step in to save him now. The bad blood runs way too deep. Their bond has been broken for years, and at this point, Marquise is completely on his own. What cuts the deepest for 50 isn't just the disrespect, it's that his son never picked up his same drive, his same hunger, or that killer instinct that made 50 who he is today. 50 Cent built his empire from the ground up. From the streets to the boardroom, he became one of the most feared and respected moguls in the entire rap game. But behind that fearless image, there's one weakness he can't hide: his son. In so many old interviews, you can see how badly 50 wanted Marquise to be his heir, the one to carry his legacy and keep the name alive. Instead, Marquise has turned into the opposite of what 50 imagined, constantly complaining about what he's owed instead of chasing something for himself. To 50, that's not just disappointing, it's straight up heartbreaking. The man who built an entire brand off strength, survival, and hustle now has to watch his own son act entitled to everything he worked for. It's no wonder he's embarrassed, and maybe even ashamed of what his son has become. If you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Do you think 50 will ever forgive Marquise, or is this father-son feud officially beyond repair? Let's talk about it.